Welcome back to Backstage Pass Rock News. In the world of rock today, ACDC frontman Brian Johnson has addressed rumors that claimed Bon Scott had written a number of lyrics for the band's legendary album Back in Black prior to his untimely death in February of 1980. After the Young brothers decided to push on with the band, despite the loss of their friend and bandmate, they ended up hiring Johnson in March of 1980 and went to the Bahamas to work on a new album a month later. Johnson had also inherited Scott's role as the band's primary lyricist, and although he was anxious about it at first, the singer ended up penning some of the band's most iconic lines to date, including the words for Hell's Bells, famously inspired by a tropical thunderstorm. Johnson writes in his new memoir The Lives of Brian that once the album came out, rumors started spreading that Scott had written some of the album's lyrical content. Addressing the subject in a new interview with Rolling Stone, Johnson said, "There was one particular journalist, a writer in Australia, who just wouldn't let go of this thing. And of course, Malcolm and Angus were like, what a fucking load of bullshit. And I said, I wish you would tell him. And their attitude was always, just leave it. Just let them talk himself into a fucking early grave. And of course, it became more and more obvious by the day that Bon hadn't, because the riffs weren't written then. The boys were still doing it. So we didn't say anything because otherwise it would have given him more fame. It wasn't something that stuck in my craw a lot, but every now and again, a fan would come up and say, this guy's saying this. And factually, it wasn't true. There wasn't an internet then. It didn't really get further than Australia. But I thought it was awful I had to explain myself. And that's why in the book, I went once and for all, I want to put this baby to bed." Despite Johnson having proven himself to be an amazing writer, Johnson stopped writing lyrics for the band towards the end of the 80s. When asked why this was so, the singer replied, "I think that was a management decision. It wasn't anything to do with me. Listen, Brian, I think the boys are going to write all the lyrics now. I said, it'll give me a little bit of rest not having to worry about coming up with something every now and again. I never thought of it that much. I just said, okay, let the guys go ahead and do it. And I must admit, I miss some of my lyrics. There are some lovely tongue-in-cheek ones, you know. Have a drink on me. And you shook me all night long. She always kept her motor clean. We all know what I meant. But it's the double entendres I miss." The iconic album Back in Black has to date sold over 50 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling rock albums of all time. The Lives of Brian is out now via Day Street Books in the US and Penguin Books in the UK. Please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell icon to know when we release another rock news video and other rock-related content.